In an earlier video, I got this mid-1930s Readrite signal generator working, and I'm going to make a battery holder for it. It takes, the yellow one is a ground, yellow wire is a ground, the red one is plus 45 volts, and the green one is plus 4 volts. Those two large D batteries there are going to be the power supply, 3 volts at 60 milliamps, and the 5 9-volt batteries are going to supply 45 volts at 500 microamps, which will make them last a long time. The 9-volt batteries are going to be put together or wired in series with these battery caps, which can all be wired in series, and I'll have to make a metal enclosure or metal some kind of a metal piece so these can be put together in such a way as to get the negative and positive off them. I'm going to make a wooden base. This metal piece here came with the signal generator and was designed to separate the batteries from the wooden base of the signal generator. So I'm going to use that as a guide so the whole assembly will fit inside the radio. And then I will just solder these onto the battery enclosures and get the correct voltages. This one here I will is a common ground for both of these, so all I need are 3 terminals. The metal piece that came with the signal generator is exactly 10 centimeters, slightly over 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, so I'll use that as a guide for the wooden pieces. Here I've got 4 pieces of hardboard. They're exactly 5 centimeters wide and 10 centimeters long. While the epoxy is drying on the wood, I'm going to have to make a metal trough that the 9-volt batteries can stand in. I'm going to make it 9 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. I've made it a bit bigger than those dimensions because I want a 0.5 centimeter rim to be around the edge. But the base diameter will be 3.5 by 9. A 5 millimeter rim, which is going to be bent over, has been drawn into all sides of the bottom piece. The corners have been cut out to facilitate bending. I intentionally made the width quite a bit wider so that I'd have some room to play with. So it's quite loose. So I think I'll take the width down about 5 millimeters. It's a much tighter fit now that I've taken 5 millimeters off each side and bended it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a rail up on either side to hold the batteries in a bit tighter. I think I'll bring that rail up about 1 or 2 centimeters on either side. There I soldered in the 2 centimeter high fence on each side, and it gives the batteries much more support from falling over. For the large batteries, I'm going to have to make a battery base that holds the 2 batteries in place, and that will have to be about 7 centimeters by 3.5. Here I've extended the battery box, and I've soldered 2 tabs from the other one onto the extension piece. Now, in order to hold the 2D batteries in place, I'm going to have to solder in a couple of pieces of metal so that they have a tight fit. I took and put a front and back piece on the part that's going to hold the D batteries in place, and I put a holder for the positive knob that sticks out from the D battery, and I put a glob of solder that will contact the negative portion of the D batteries. There I've managed to make the batteries make proper contact with the metal by putting those metal pieces down below and soldering them on. And by putting that piece in the middle and the pieces on the side, the batteries fit in very tight, and I'm able to get 3 volts off the top. Now I'm gluing all onto the baseboard with epoxy, and the final thing I'll do is to rig up some kind of caps that will fit on the positive and negative terminals and will hold down permanently with some kind of fastening device or elastic type device that will keep them under tension. I've glued a terminal strip onto the back of the 9-volt battery holders, and I've soldered 2 red wires and 2 black wires. The middle one has the 2 black common wires, and one of the reds will go to the 3 volts, and the other one will go to the 45 volts. And up at the top, the signal generators power supplies can be screwed down under tension, so it makes a good connection. I'm wanting to make a ring, a metal ring for both of the batteries, to make caps that will make contact with the negative and positive terminals. So I've measured the diameter. It's 32.75 millimeters. Do a quick calculation for circumference, and the circumference is 102.290 millimeters. There I've cut a piece of metal to approximately 102 millimeters. Now I'm going to cut it in half. It's 20 millimeters wide, so I'm going to cut it down to 10 millimeters, and I'll have 2 pieces of 10 millimeters. The ring size wasn't really critical because I was going to make it loose anyway, so I put another piece in there, soldering it, and it just fits on it very loosely. Very loose, and it's going to sit like that, just loosely on top, with a piece making contact with the positive here, and the same on the other side. So the 2 rings are bigger than the battery, very loosely fitting around it, so they're 37.85 millimeters in diameter. For the top of the first cap, I want 2 pieces that are 10 millimeters wide, and they will make contact with the top cap, the positive cap of the battery, and when I do the other one, they're going to have a recess that goes down to make contact with the negative part of the battery. There's the 2 caps soldered together, and one on the left touches the positive part of the battery, and the one on the right touches the negative recessed portion of the battery. Here the 2 battery caps are wired up, And the next thing I'm going to do is just connect them, hold them in place with some Velcro. Here's the power supply all connected and ready for use, with all held down by Velcro. There's the finished power supply, all ready to be lowered into the battery compartment of the signal generator. There it's sitting nice and snug in the battery compartment, all hooked up.